Hey, sixth graders, it's Thursday. So I am talking to cohort B right now because you guys are looking online, and I am in class and talking away with cohort A, who's in front of me and probably on Zoom as well. All right, so today, February 25th, a couple things. We're nearing the end of February. In fact, this is our last Thursday in February. How about that? February's gone. Now um, we're up to March already. So spring is in the air. Spring break's coming. Whole lot of reason to be hopeful. Vaccinations. I'm getting mine tomorrow. How about that? Okay. We're going to talk about some missing work a little bit, and then author's purpose and intro to informational writing is sort of our next unit. All right. I want to remind you that this is February 25th. I set a due date for 8:15 a.m. So if you're watching this at 7:31 a.m. right now, if you're watching this at 8 o'clock and you haven't turned in your work, your poster, right? If you haven't done this, you can't get full credit because I've set to you that on timeness is now an expectation. So that being said, reminder to get that in, turn that in, right? I want you to get 6 out of 6. I don't want you to get 4.5 out of 6. All right, so today you're going to open up your reader's notebook, which we haven't touched in forever. It looks like this, right? This bad boy. And you're going to go to your mini lessons. So you're going to go to this section. And your job is to open that up, find a spot to a new page, because we're going to take some notes. And what I want you to understand is we're talking about really this word right here. We're transitioning from the writer's craft. What do writers do? How do they make their writers spiffier and more interesting? To now, why did they write it in the first place? Okay. So the purpose of an author's piece of writing is what we're focusing on as we move into really a genre that people hate. They're like, no, nonfiction. Ugh. Nonfiction is amazing. It's where your mind, right? You can really read a great story, but do you really necessarily learn something from a story that you can use in an argument? No, you learn about how people might react. You learn about the human condition. You learn about possibilities of futures. Those are all amazing things. That's different for purpose than going into a book saying, I want to learn something. I want to argue about the climate and how we can make it better because here's what history has told us. Or I want to end racism because here's the timeline of racism. Those are all things that I want to know. So we approach this kind of stuff differently. So what I want you to do in your notebook is draw this peace symbol, okay?
Please excuse this interruption. Will Jen Martin and Carla Blasek please give me a call at 18786? Thank you.
Sorry. So I want you to do draw this kind of peace symbol, okay? Make it big. And what we're going to do here is in this, we're going to start talking about pie. No, not pie like apple or cherry. My favorite is pecan pie. But pie stands for something, okay? And it stands for really this idea of purpose, okay? The first one you're going to write down is persuasion, okay? Write down persuasion. In this particular thing, I want you to write probably this idea that persuasion is getting someone to believe or trust that they should do what you suggest. Okay? That is a pretty decent definition for persuasion. Getting someone to believe or trust that they should do what you suggest. I want you to go to the store. All right? I'm going to try to persuade you. Or you should clean up after yourself on the beach. That's helping the earth. Persuasion, getting people to do what you're suggesting. They should either trust it or they should believe in what you're doing. Okay, that's the first one. So you can pause here, take those notes. Then we have inform. Okay, that's our second piece. Okay, so inform is really a little bit, it's kind of the same concept. It's actually very simple. All right, is what you think it might be, right? Inform would be to present information about a topic. In fact, let me do this. Present and teach a word pertinent or important information about a topic. Okay? Means like you got to know. I can't talk about caves unless I have information about caves. Okay? So that's number 2. That's inform. And then thirdly, so you could take your notes there. Third, we got that. We got this. Okay. Last one we need is entertain. All right. I think that one, do we even need it? Honestly, a definition? To allow the reader to enjoy the process of reading. Okay. Now, pretty simple stuff, right? And that's not too crazy. It's not that complicated. Definitely it's related to everything we've done. Okay. Nothing crazy. Where it gets interesting is when we start looking at like, what is the purpose of the crossover, right? And in class, we'll have this discussion. But bottom line is, they're all linked. You can't take them. I mean, they're all tied together. Because if we start making a list of what Kwame Alexander's purpose was to write this, what's he doing? He's doing a ton of stuff, right? He's trying to entertain us, right? It's a great story. He's also probably trying to inform us because, frankly, you learn about basketball. You learn about the European League. He's got enough information in there that we're learning stuff. And in truthfulness, he's trying to persuade us maybe a little bit that maybe we should be better, right? His dad didn't take care of himself in the crossover. Maybe it's a part of Kwame's story that's like, take care of your body, do it for your kids, right? So they all really end up linking because here's the deal. They link because Kwame knows what he's talking about. So don't write this down, but this is all about expertise. You cannot be interesting unless you're somewhat of an expert on something. So for an example, what is Kwame Alexander an expert at? What is he an expert at? Okay, boom. His book is full of basketball knowledge, right? Moves, the lingo or the slang or the language. He knows what a fadeaway is and a slide steps jump shot, right? NBA and European leagues. He's talking about things that show he knows basketball. Some of you didn't know what was going on in that book ever because you don't follow basketball. No worries. Not your fault. Not a problem. It's just simply true. You don't know about basketball. All right. What else did he know about? Well, he knew about schools and what it means to be a principal because he used that language. So he must have, he must know about what a school looks like and going into a, principal's office and what a principal goes through in a day. Because remember, she was really busy and couldn't actually deal with the son. There's medical conditions, right? They talk about hypertension and patella tendonitis, vocabulary and word choice. There's words in there you've never heard. Some of you asked about those words and family dynamics. He's an expert at all these things because it's all in his book. Here's the deal. How do you get there? Basketball. Clearly, he loves basketball. The way he writes about it, that guy loves basketball. He knows it. He must have played it. He watches it. I could be wrong, but he seemed very comfortable. School and principal language? Well, a lot of people have gone to school, so it looks like he pulled from that. He might have asked a friend or someone who was a principal. Medical conditions. I doubt Kwame Alexander is a doctor, so what did he do? He went and researched. He went and looked, like, what are some conditions that basketball players deal with, right? Maybe he has it. I don't know, but definitely it looks like he researched some stuff. Vocabulary and word choice. You notice that he actually looked up words. That's why he was doing those definitions. So vocabulary and word choice, he learned a bunch of new words that he could use, and he used them. Some, I'm sure he learned as he was writing this book. A lot, I'm sure he knew as he wrote over the years. And lastly, family dynamics and like relationships, how people talk to each other, the way that family talked to each other, obviously, he's lived it. He's known it. So this is what experts do. Now, here's the thing, guys. I love you, but the bottom line is you're pretty young. So there's some stuff you just can't know yet because you just haven't been on the earth long enough. So that's where you become an expert. So why are we talking about this? Because readers and authors are always in a constant battle to the death. All right. And the reason I say that is an author is always one side of this and a reader's the other. They are not separated. And authors have to deal with this question of, am I trying to persuade you? Am I trying to inform you? Am I trying to entertain you? Right? Well, here's a reader's challenge. You're like, well, I want to be entertained. Make it interesting. Or my guardian teacher's making me. All right. That's the worst purpose, but it is a purpose. I am curious. That's the best purpose. When you want to learn. Oh my God, it's the best. That's when your mind blows. I need instructions. Some of you read because you have to find out how to do something. I need you to do this. Here's a book. Read it. Find out how to do it. And lastly, some people just want to read to be smarter, right? For years, I wrote down words that I didn't know. All right. And that was me being smarter. So that idea here is these are all what a reader is coming in with. They're all different. Some readers come in always, I hate reading, someone's making me. Some readers come in sometimes, oh, I'm curious today. I want to read something. This is all switching. These two are always in battle. When I give you a book, you're wondering what your purpose is, and the author is trying to sell the idea that they have a purpose too. It does this. So here's your goal for today. I'm telling you what your purpose is. I want you to read and learn something new, okay? You must choose to be open to learn. That takes practice. I'm going to force you to be open. You're going to have to just be open, okay? Here are the directions. If you're at home, I have 6 articles here in Schoology, right here, okay? Reading information. Look at these 6 articles right there. If you are at home or you're on Zoom with me, I want you to read at least 4 of these. They're very short. Read them all the way through. Read them to learn. And then what I mean is like try to learn something new that you didn't know, which means you're going to have to process. That might take some questions. You might have to ask me. You might have to ask someone else. After reading, what I want you to do is then spend 15 minutes writing out in a paragraph, not questions, not like bullet points, right here. I want you to answer these 4 questions right here in a paragraph. So don't number them 1, 2, 3, 4. Just answer and then keep writing. Okay? After reading, write out that paragraph, but do not submit anything. Okay? Not at all. We're not submitting this today. We will talk about it. We're not going to submit it. At school, those of you that are with me in school, I have different readings. I have these books. They're very short. I only want you to choose 1 or 2 to read all the way through. Again, spend 15 minutes writing out a paragraph answer, not bullet pointed answers in Schoology. Do not submit anything today. Okay? All right. Whew. That's a lot of information. That's your work for today. And then those of you who are at home, I will see you tomorrow. We'll talk about this. Okay. Hope you're well. This is a reading heavy day and a little bit of writing about our reading. Let's go.